Hi guys, weebobart here, and in this video we're going to be doing this stormy ocean kind of beginner's tutorial with a meteor coming down from the heavens. So this will be a quite quick tutorial, but we start off by selecting our canvas, and we're using a hot pressed canvas with a texture size of 260%. Make sure you wet the layer. We add a black bit of paint, a white bit of paint, and then we use the blowing tool, as I've used many times in the past, to start seeing what happens. This is the beauty of Rebelle. You don't have to be as deliberate as you do with some other digital packages. Rebelle takes over. It does its thing with water simulation, and it can give us some really amazing effects, which is why I love the program. We change the texture influence and the visual settings, and we turn our tilt on. And it's important that we change the texture influence, because that will then bring out those little spiky bits that we see, and it also is how the water interacts with the canvas. At this point we're just going to add in some extra black paint and then see what we get. And I'm just experimenting in this, and that's what I would encourage you to do, is to experiment and see what happens. Now with Rebelle, you've got to be a wee bit patient. It's not like the water simulation can happen immediately, especially if you've got nanopixel turned on. Your PC might be a bit older, so give it some time to work its magic, really, and the absorbency of the paper will affect when the water dries up. At this point I'm going to use the Splat 3 water applicator, and this is a good way of getting texture to your drawings, is to use a kind of splat water brush. It can add water to areas that you don't intend, and again it can really give us extra stuff that we didn't intend. Again, experimenting. At this point it could be a weird version of Stonehenge. So I turn the tilt off, and this is where we kind of make our waves. We get the blowing tool, we go left and right across the screen, and we get this kind of pattern effect happening, wavy lines. I've used the ruler as well at the top to try and get the horizon line looking correct, and just make sure that's a kind of point in your painting. The horizon line is important. Using a high water but low opacity brush, this is how we get the spiky effect, and we can fast dry when we're ready. And you can see just how lovely. You couldn't digitally paint that. It's just, if you did, it would take you a long time, and instead it's took us 2-3 minutes. Again, just adding extra water to the horizon, and again let it absorb into the paper, because you won't end up with funny lines. In this case it looks as though the transition into the sky is nice and smooth. Adding the extra water down the bottom there, and I wanted the sky up the top to be dark, so I painted in some darker colour, and then again let it absorb into the paper. Don't be too rushed. I then started experimenting with what is the kind of focus of this picture. I wasn't quite sure. I was thinking initially a lighthouse, something in the horizon, a ship, and especially when you've got the watercolour working, you'll see some of this really cool effects happen that you don't intend. You just get a wee bit of water on the paper, and you end up with this lovely trail of colour extending away, perhaps in a direction that you didn't intend, but it adds something to your drawing. I decided at this point, I thought this looks more like a meteor coming down to the earth, and I then was using kind of high water, high opacity to get a glow effect to the ocean, to the sky, adding some orange in, adding some different colours in, and really experimenting, adding some of the glow to the clouds, adding a bit of dark for the rock that would be the meteor. If you use a real bright white, you'll get that lovely white glow, red hot rock flying to the earth. Just detail it as best as you want. Take as much time as you want. Again, I wasn't overly happy with the glow in the sea, so I decided to try and get rid of it. And then this is the real part where you want to be getting the liquefy tool. Now I made this brush in my last video, and it helped me get some of the kind of spray look to the sea, away from some of the jagginess. But you may not want to do that. You may want to just keep it the way it was. I used this is my signature, and I made it into a brush, which then is pulled into the liquify. Like I says, I'll leave a link to that video at the end here, which is the end. And this is the result, which took 10-15 minutes to make. Really happy, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and Weebob is out.